Welcome back to another episode of AI for the Busy Human. I'm Vasta, and this show is for people who do not have the time to learn every AI tool on the planet, but want to use it, for the ones who actually will change their daily life. Short episodes, real tools, no fluff. And if this is your first time here, every episode follows the same format. I show you one real problem, one real tool, and one real workflow you can steal and use today. All right, this episode is all about IEPs. And if you do not have IEPs in your house, I also want you to think about this as medical records. Maybe you have, a different doctors for everything and you're going through stuff. This could work for that as well. But I really wanted to do an episode for all of those special needs parents out there. I know that you have a stack of IEP documents somewhere in your house right now. Maybe it's in a folder, maybe it's in a drawer, maybe it's in your email. Maybe it's in that pile on the counter you mean to go through. And every single time you sit down for an IEP meeting, you spend the first 10 minutes flipping through papers, trying to remember what the goals were from last year, what the therapist said, what you were supposed to follow up on. And then you leave the meeting thinking the same thing that you always think. Oh, I should have asked more questions. This is not a you problem. This is a system problem. And today, I'm going to give you the system. All right, so let me tell you what IEP season looks like in my house. Olivia has had IEPs since she was little. Olivia is my, at the time of the recording, 11-year-old daughter, who's one of the smallest surviving female babies on the planet, born at only 12 ounces. Yes, that's the weight of the soda can that's in your hand right now, okay? And if you have IEPs, then you know what it means. It means evaluations, progress reports, therapy notes, teacher emails, meeting notes, amendment pages. It means a new document every few months that is 20, 30, sometimes 40 pages long, written in a language that feels like it was designated to confuse you. And you are supposed to read all of it, understand it, not be emotional about it, remember all of it, and then walk into a room full of professionals and advocate for your kid. I mean, it's like the morning of the IEP meeting, you're like literally trying to find last year's document. You know you saved it somewhere. Was it Google Drive? Was it the email from the school psychologist? Did you take a picture of it? You're scrolling through your phone, you're opening folders, you find something from 2 years ago, but not the current one. And then you finally find it. But now you have 12 minutes before the meeting and you're skimming 40 pages trying to figure out what Olivia's speech goals are versus her OT goals versus her academic goals. Then you're in the meeting and someone says something like, based off the progress monitoring data from the second semester, we feel the accommodation in section 4.2 may need to be adjusted. And you nod, because what else are you supposed to do? You do not have a section 4.2 memorized. You do not have a cross-reference of what changed from last year. You're just trying to keep up. You leave the meeting and the guilt hits. You should never have asked about reading intervention. You should have brought up what happened in November. I should have pushed harder. And that's what kills me. You're not a bad advocate or parent. You're not lazy. You're not dumb. You're drowning in documents that no human is designed to manage in their head. You need a system, and you don't have one. And that's what this episode is going to do for you today. Now, why the old solutions keep failing? Some of you have tried to get organized with this. You have a binder. That's what I had. Maybe you have a color coding filing system. Maybe you've started a Google Doc where you track everything and it works for about 2 weeks, but then life happens. I mean, there's like 10 of them and one of you, and each one of them is only responsible for part of it. You're responsible for all of it. A new evaluation comes in and you forget to file it because, let's face it, we're trying to be parents. A teacher sends an email with an update and you star it, but you never go back. The binder gets buried under school art projects. The problem is not your motivation. The problem is that you're trying to be a search engine for your child's entire educational history. And you are trying to cross-reference a 40-page document in your head while you're also packing lunches and answering work emails and remembering that picture day is Thursday. You're using your brain like a filing cabinet, and your brain is not a filing cabinet. Your brain is making it was made for making decisions, like asking good questions, loving on your child. The filing and searching and comparing, that should be done by someone else. And that something else is what I'm about to show you. Today, we're using NotebookLM. It's Google and it's free. It's made by Google and it is about to come what I call your IEP brain. Here's what NotebookLM does in plain English. You upload documents, PDFs, Google Docs, emails, whatever you have, and then you get an AI that has read every single word of those documents and can answer every single question about them. That's it. That's the magic. It does not go out into the internet. It does not make stuff up from random sources. It only knows what you gave it, which means when you ask it a question about Olivia's IEP, it answers from Olivia's IEP, not for some random article about IEPs in general, which is what a ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini could do. Think about that for a second. Every single IEP, every eval, every progress report, every email from school, all of it in one place. And you can just ask it questions like you're talking to the world's most organized parent advocate who has memorized everything. All right, here's how we do it. Step 1, go to NotebookLM. Open your browser, go to notebooklm.google.com. And you do need a Google account. That's it. No payment, no subscription. Step 2, create your notebook. Click New Notebook. I'm naming mine Olivia's IEP Brain, and you can name yours whatever you want. Your kid's name, school stuff, whatever makes sense to you. Step 3, upload your document. Click Add Source and start uploading. And that's on the left side. It's organized into 3 sides. So the first side, the left side is all the sources, the middle is where you chat, and the right side is where, this is really cool, it can make a whole bunch of things. It could literally like make a podcast for you. And so like if you're auditory and you just want to listen to it on your way to work, it could make a mind map. It could make a quiz. You don't really need to be quizzed on it though, right? Let's face it. It could make an infographic. All right. And so you're going to want to add source and start uploading all of your stuff. I put in Olivia's current IEP, her last IEP, her most recent evaluations, a few emails from her teachers about progress. You can upload PDFs, Google Docs, Google Slides, even copy and paste text from emails. Throw it all in there. This is a messy input and it does not need to be organized. It's the whole point. Okay. Step 4, start asking questions. This is the middle section. This is where it gets good. The first prompt, I'm going to read out loud exactly as you could do it. Summarize Olivia's current IEP plan in plain language. What are the key goals at the school and home? List them in simple bullet points a parent can understand without any jargon. And then watch what happens. It pulls from the actual document. It breaks down the goals into plain English. It tells me what speech goals are, what the OT goals are, what the academic benchmarks are. In 30 seconds, I have a summary of what would have taken me an hour to write myself. Now, here's where it gets really powerful. Compare last year's IEPs to this year's IEPs. Where did Olivia grow? Where did she stall? What are the goals repeated from last year without progress? This is the one that changed the game for me because AI reads both documents side by side and shows you exactly what shifted and what did not. You now do not have to analyze and critically think about this. I could see that one of her speech goals had been copy and pasted from last year without no change. This is something I would have missed reading it myself. That is something I can now bring up in the meeting. And now a really big one, the meeting prep prompt. Based off of everything in this notebook, write 10 questions I should ask at our next IEP meeting to advocate for Olivia's needs. Focus on areas where progress has stalled, where goals seem vague, and where I should push for more specific accommodations. 10 questions specific to my kid based off of her actual documents. Not generic IEP questions from Google, questions that reference her goals, her data, and her history. I walked into Olivia's IEP meeting with those 10 questions printed out. And for the first time, I was not scrambling. I was not nodding along, hoping I would ask the right things. I was prepared and the team noticed. The other thing that you can do is you can have this thing opened up in front of you instead of that big binder. And you can ask NotebookLM the questions. Hey, what did we do in her vision goals last year? And it will go through and it will come straight up for you. No more flipping through these pages, asking people, what page are we on? And funny enough, these IEP documents, they're not even numbered, okay? So here's what we did today. Today, one, we created a free NotebookLM for your child's IEP documents. Two, we uploaded all the IEPs, evals, teacher emails, progress reports. Three, we used a simple prompt to get plain language summary, a year-over-year comparison, and 10 custom advocacy questions for your next meeting. This took me about 15 minutes to set up the first time, and now it's there forever. Every time a new document comes in, I throw it in there. Every time a meeting is coming up, I ask it questions. It's like having a parent advocate in my pocket who has read everything and forgets nothing. So here's your homework. Tonight, find your child's most recent IEP, just the most recent one, and upload it to NotebookLM and ask it to summarize the goals in plain language. That's it. It's your first step. If you do it, come tell me. Send me a DM. Bella Vasta. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm not hard to find on the internet. Leave a comment. I want to hear how it felt to finally have someone explain that document in English to you. And if you are blessed to not have a child that needs an IEP, I hope that just by listening to the last 11 and a half minutes of this episode, you could understand that this could be easily adapted to a multitude of things. As I discussed at the very beginning, this is really good for medical stuff. When you have, a lot of different doctors that you're going to maybe for one, situation. It could be used for selling homes. It could be used for a product that you might be selling. It could be used for anything that is topic specific. And it is wildly powerful. This has been another episode of AI for the Busy Human. Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a comment on this episode.